keep you aware about the various ways in which you can go online, in which you can use the digital mediums that exist as of today. So just repeating for the newcomers, the way we'll do this session is that we'll keep it as interactive as possible. The best way for you to make the most of it is to stay actively engaged, reply in the chat box, send in any queries, comments, feedback. In fact, intentionally, I will be leaving ample amount of time towards the end of the session for a detailed Q&A. So don't worry, if you have any question, they will be answered. Now, given that we are now just getting started, let me try sharing my screen. Yes. So welcome all of you. Let me tell you a little about what we are going to cover in today's session. The first thing is we'll talk about a broad overview of GlobalLinker. I'll also be showing you a live demo of it. Then we'll move on to why is it important to have an online profile? How do you have one? How do you keep it rich enough for people to be attracted? And then we'll quickly move on to why, when, where, and how do you kind of sell online? How do you tell your customers that you're ready to service them? Then we'll quickly move on to how do we attract the prospect customers? How does a customer know that you are 24/7 out there in an online domain to accept their orders? And then, like I told you, we'll have a detailed Q&A session. So let me tell you all what GlobalLinker is actually. So just like the way we use Facebook to connect with friends and LinkedIn to connect for job updates or work updates, imagine a world of connecting for business opportunities. Now, it indeed is a reality today where GlobalLinker is a community of business owners like yourself who are networking with one another, interacting about how do I source new raw material, where do I find new suppliers, how do I engage distributors, how do I appoint new agents, sharing about their awards, any new product launches, and and things like that, writing articles, writing various things. So there's a lot of activity already happening on the platform. The community is free to join, but an invite-only program. So it's going to be treated as your online business circle. Let me actually now pause here and show you a glimpse of how my profile looks like, so that when you go back, you feel a little more familiar. It's pretty self-explanatory, but I'll do a quick demo of the platform. Okay. So here is how your platform, your profile would also look like. But on the left hand side, you can see you would have your details, what you are representing in your organization, the kind of contribution you're sharing. In the middle is the section where you can share your ideas, your opinions, your challenges, anything that you'd like to talk to for the business community. And on the right-hand side, you'll see the various sessions that are happening. What are the kind of people that are actually sending in an invitation request to me? What is the engagement that's happening on the platform? How members are talking about various informational-based articles. So all of that will be consumed on the right-hand section. Now I'm going to scroll here to show you the kind of activity that's happening. For example, this Mr. Venkat here is talking about the herbal tea that he sells, versus somebody else could possibly look at showcasing their product, showcasing aesthetic images of their products, or let's say pose a challenge and ask for suggestions. So you could definitely comment back and possibly then make an interaction. So now, while you can see all of this that's happening, now the question that arises is, how do I as a business become a little out of the box or bring focus on my particular business? Now, the way to do it, of course, gone are the days when only just writing about I deal in XYZ and expecting business out of that is not the new normal. So the way you could do it is by actually contributing rich information for the business circle. Now, when I say this, and I'll give you an example. For example, there is this from somebody from Guwahati who writes a lot in the legal and compliance domain. For example, you can see he's written about trademark registration process. What are the steps? So whenever I need to do something legal, I'll either reach out to him, but he's made that impression in my mind that he knows what his subject. If I need because as a business owner, we can't do everything on our own. We do need to reach out to various different domain experts, and that's the way to do it more efficiently. Now, for example, you can see the government of Telangana puts up a lot of updates here for you to benefit from. So there are market leaders, there are industry organizations, there are government bodies who are sharing information for you to consume. But more importantly, the reason I'm emphasizing on this section is I'm inviting all of you as business owners to actually start contributing information like this. For example, the Storai magazine is a magazine by the Retailers Association of India, who gives a lot of trends, insight, data, learnings about the retail space. So just like that, for example, if you are, let's say, a CA, and you want to start engaging with other businesses as a service provider, it's important you start sharing your information at least a little in the form. It need not be a very long article, but rich information that you're sharing so that the reader feels, yes, he knows what he's talking about. Second, it creates an impression that, yes, this is a person who knows his particular domain and I can reach out to him when I am in need of such services. So it's important to do your brand building using a section like this. Now, let me quickly move on to the groups. This is pretty self-explanatory. We've used it on various platforms, but what groups actually is, it's a group of like-minded people coming together to discuss a particular subject. So let's say, for example, I'm interested in accounting services, I'll join a group like that. Or if I'm an exporter, I would join a group which says World of Import-Export Agents, and I'll post any of my current problems that I'm facing, or I'll learn from the industry experts who are sharing their knowledge. So given that this is pretty self-explanatory, and I'm sure most of you will join these groups, let me show you actually the next section, which is an interesting one. It's called events. Now, what is it that happens in this is that there are, on the platform, there are 400,000 businesses, 4 lakh businesses. They are all posting their events, which means that anything that you have as an online or offline medium, any event, you can put it up here, whether it's a workshop, a training, for others to know about and come and attend your sessions. So currently, if you see the session that you're attending today, as of now, also is live here. There are others, industry leaders. There's Federation of Indian Export Organizations with a partner of GlobalLinker, who also puts in their sessions here. So but the two things that you need to do in this section is that, one, consume information that is being shared by others, which means you can register for any of these events so that you can keep a tab on what's happening in the industry circle. And second is, if you have something of your own that you'd like to tell everybody about, then you use it to actually create an event. Now, coming quickly, I'll come to the catalog section in a moment, but I'll show you the most awaited section, which is the offers bit. Here is a section where we have curated, we understand that business owners are in need of various services during their business journey. And therefore, we've curated different kind of services and products which you might need during the course of your business. For example, let's say you need accounting software, or renting an office space, or just creating a current account, or actually creating a brochure of yours, availing SEO services, availing digital marketing. So we've tried to cover the range of the different products and services that you might need under everything under one roof. from market leaders and at a pre-negotiated rate, so that you don't need to actually worry about, one, whether the organization is good or not, two, what is the kind of price that you're getting, because it's already competitive and made for SMEs on the platform. So I'm sure I don't need to invite you all to explore this section, and possibly most of you have already done that. Now, coming back to the catalog section, and let me tell you a little about the online store or digital catalog, whatever you might want to call it as. But what is it? It's not today. Online store is not restricted to only a B2C business or only a D2C business. So business to customer today, yes, it is more frequent that people are moving online. But B2B, industrial, consumer, no matter which category you are in, even services, you can have your digital catalog, and it's very productive to do so. I will come and show you examples of that. But let me just show you businesses who've actually made their digital catalog using this section. And you can make it on your own. You can make it free of cost. The basic features that are available can be used by yourself. You can actually do it in under 30 minutes if you have your catalog ready. So here's a brand in the south of India that's showcasing their bestsellers. They're using various features to make their online catalog rich. Now, for example, here I can see all the different categories, what's happening on their social media feed, what are customers saying about them, what is happening behind the scenes, how are they empowering various kind of women, what are the kind of videos that I can see as well. So you can, I'm just highlighting these so that you know when you are creating your store, these are the different things that you can do as well. Let me come to another online store and show you that. Now, this is a brand called Kensho Greenery. They deal in plants. You'll see that while they do have a physical store, they get a lot of online orders as well. Here you'll see they're trying to use aesthetic images to showcase their products. They have a plant care guide, which means you can also upload brochures or, let's say, PDF documents for every single product. Possibly I'll just go to one of the products and show it to you. Let's come to the indoor plants. So if you see here, I can either send an inquiry for the product or I can actually directly purchase it as well. If you see, there's a care guide, which takes me to a PDF document. So you could also upload something like that. You need to give appropriate information, different angles of your product. So make it as creative as possible, because that's when businesses or users will trust that this is a legitimate business and I can purchase from here. Now, I'll just show you one last example, which is a B2B business. Now, this is a brand which actually sells beveling machines. It's quite difficult for them to put a price to it because it's a very customized requirement. And therefore, instead of putting prices to every single product, they put in inquiries. So you could actually, if you are somebody who doesn't want to reveal the price, or the price is fluctuating, or you do customized products, and you can use a feature like this where you don't lose out on the customer. They come to your website, they're seeing the product they're interested in, and then dropping an inquiry to you. So now that you've seen a glimpse of the platform, let me just go back to why you should digitize, how you can digitize your business. I'll share my presentation again here. Right. So we've understood what GlobalLinker is, but the idea of this solution is actually to keep it twofold. And when I say twofold, it means that one, we want businesses to become discoverable, and two, we want them to be transaction ready. And I'll show you how that happens in the later part of the session today. Now, I'd like to ask you all a question as business owners, and please use the chat box to reply. Resources are limited. As business owners, resources are limited. Everyone needs to use them wisely. I'd like to know from you, what is your most limited resource? As a business owner, what is the most limited resource for you? Let me open the chat box and see what you all are going to say. Okay, I can see some personal messages. Please reply to everyone. Someone says time. Sure. What else? What is your most limited resource as a business owner? Funds. Sure. Money. Okay. Team members. Okay. What else? Customers, market reach, capacity. Wow. Okay. So now that you've identified that this is your limited resource, it's important you plan before you act. You plan and invest it in the right direction. Now, in the session ahead, I'll actually be telling you about the various channels and ways in which you can tell your customers that you are ready to service them no matter where they are, when they want you. One last question before we move ahead. Let me ask you all to draw a tree, either on paper or in your mind. Just draw a tree. I'll pause here for 10 seconds. In under 10 seconds, please draw a tree. It can be on paper, it can be in your mind, anything, but just draw a tree. Okay, so now can I ask you all a question? How many of us drew a tree just like the way we were taught as kids? 2 lines for the bark and then a cloud on top for the bush. Did we draw a tree like that? Reply in yes or no. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Come on, I need to see all the answers there. Yes. Okay, I haven't seen a single no there yet. So over 99% of us, yes, with some branches. Okay, interesting, Mr. Sudhir. So what I'm trying to bring here is that if we were all together in a group and we were networking with one another, and it was a competition where we had to draw a tree, I am sure 100% none of us would have drawn it just as simple as this. Like Mr. Sudhir, we would have drawn branches, we would have added fruits, we would have added colors, we would have added a scenery, we would have put a farmer there, we would have done as much as possible because we're thinking of it in a different way. What I'm trying to bring here with this simple example is that a lot of times, often in your business journey, there are simple tasks, there are routine, mundane activities that you're doing in a particular fashion because you've been doing it like that early on. It's important you stop, pause, see if it's the right way to do it, brainstorm with a group of people, where it can be friends, family, it can be competition, it can be anybody. Sit in a group of different kinds of people and understand their aspects. More than that, it will actually, networking will ignite that spark within you. It will allow you to collectively think of a different way of achieving a simple task. So I'm going to leave you with the thought of how networking is important and quickly move on to why one should build their own sales channel. Now, times are changing, right? And I'd like to ask you all, have you ever clicked on block an advertisement or clicked on skip an ad? Have you ever done that? Reply in yes or no. Yes, yes, yes. I can see the yeses there. Okay. All of us have. Everybody is guilty of that. But how many of us have followed an influencer, a celebrity who are talking about the various products that they use? Any yeses there? Any no's there? Okay, so the yes is there as well. So on both hands, one, we are blocking promotional information and we are following educational information. So what do we mean by this? that consumers today are trusting humans versus promotional content. So it's important you as a business owner invest in building your own brand. Otherwise, you're not going to be noticed. And I'll show you why and how you should do that. But let me talk a little about diversification on marketplaces. Now, many of us surely today have listed our products on some of the other marketplace like Amazon, let's say Flipkart, Big Basket, Swiggy, depending on our type of business. On some of the other marketplace, we have listed ourselves in order to get customers. It's important to remember that we are listing on marketplaces only for customers, not for brand building. And why is that so? Because today as a customer, if I go on to Amazon, if I want to buy a pen, I am buying a pen from Amazon. I am not buying a pen from Mercy stores. I don't remember the name of the supplier. I don't remember from whom I purchased it, because I know that if the quality is not good, I'll return it to Amazon and I'll rebuy it. So the brand building is happening of Amazon. It's important to be on marketplaces to get customers, but if you're looking at building awareness of your particular brand, so that in the long term it results in no dependency on marketplaces, then it's critical you build your own sales channel. And what do I mean by build your own sales channel? Whether it's hybrid in terms of physical and digital, or only physical, only digital, do it for your own business, right? Now, let me actually tell you about the digital presence that happens on GlobalLinker. We have about 30,000 plus sellers on the platform and who are actively using the store capability. I've been in conversation with most of them over the past 4 years, and a lot of them have shared about data, learnings, insights about what is working, what's not working for them. And we're trying to collate all of that and share with you today so that we can all learn and grow together. But again, before we move forward, I'd like to ask you all one simple question. How many of us here shop online today? Do you buy anything at all online today? It can range from booking a cab on Uber, Ola, buying a product on any marketplace, buying a product on an individual website, anything at all. I can see the yeses there. Most of them are yes. I think almost 100% of us would be yes. But let me turn that question around. How many of you as business owners are selling online today? Can I as a customer buy your products online? Let's see the yeses and no there. No, hardly. I'm trying. I don't see a single yes there yet. Any yeses or all no's for are you as a business owner selling online today? I saw a yes there. No, not selling online. No, no, no. Okay. So think about it. It's not to put down anybody. The fact is that customers want to buy online. Customers like yourself, you just said that you buy most of the things online. And therefore, your customer wants to buy online from you. Whether the customer is B2C, B2B, anything, it doesn't matter. I want the product at my home, at my convenience, at the time I want to purchase it. It should be at my doorstep, whether it's a product or a service, right? So I'm going to leave you with the thought that it is important, high time, need of the hour to start selling online. You've seen it for yourself. You want an experience, please provide it to your customer as well. As a customer, the experience that you want online, think about the same for your customer, right? Now, there are 5 different stages of digitization. The first is that you lay the foundation by creating an online presence. Then you move on to building it by staying active. Then you move on to promoting your products, or service or business via, let's say, social media, via writing articles, via doing SEM activities, digital marketing, whatever the case may be. You are in the promotion stage. Then you start scaling up into your growth stage, which you start relying on data, on trends. You start looking at how do I increase profits? How do I reduce costs? And at the end of all of this, you try to sustain this. You try to get repeat customers, build loyalty, earn goodwill, all of that. And what's critical here is that this journey is for every single customer that comes to you, right? So it's a vicious cycle, but it's a well thought through cycle. You can definitely progress step by step. Now, many of you might argue that, and I saw there that not most of you are not yet selling online. So you might argue that I've been doing business traditionally for years now. My customers come to my store and purchase my goods, but why should I move online? Why should, if not 100%, why should I even move 50% online? Why should I try a hybrid model? So let's take an example to understand this. Let's say Mercy here has a store of footwear in Mumbai, in Andheri, and she gets about 100 customers a day, every single day, to her footwear store in Mumbai. She is making profits, she's very happy, but how does she expand? Any thoughts on how Mercy should move from 100 customers a day to 500 customers a day? What would you suggest to Mercy as friends? Let's see your answers there. How does she move from 100 customers to 500 customers a day? Wake up. Time to share some thoughts with Mercy. How does she grow her business? How does she expand? She distributes brochures, okay. She starts another store. She starts an online platform, okay. What else? She uses social media, okay. She does SEO, fine. She runs a discount, okay. So let's say she goes by, I think, Mr. Vishal's suggestion on running a discount. And now Mercy has run a 50% sale. And now from 100 customers a day, she's getting 250 customers a day. Not yet 500, but she's getting 200 to 250 customers a day. What has happened? Her profits have gone down. Even though her customers have doubled, her profits have gone down by half. So instead of that, she goes by the suggestion, I think, of Mr. Neeraj, of starting an online platform, and she starts tracking her data. She starts getting access to rich information which she didn't have in an efficient way earlier. And what is that data? Now, Mercy is able to analyze that on Tuesday between 5 to 9 p.m., customers are not coming to my online store versus they're coming on all other days. So her visitors are very less during this time slot. It's a very lean period for her business. She runs a sale only during 5 to 9 every Tuesday. Now, what has she done differently? Her existing customers remain intact. New set of customers come to try her products, buy a 50% off, and she's also now innovating with providing samples. She's doing a lot of things to capture a new set of audience only in a particular lean period so that her existing business stays intact, right? So it's important we understand this difference between, let's say, having an online store and having an offline store. Now, quickly coming on to another friend of hers, I think, let's say somebody, Mr. Vikas. Mr. Vikas comes to her store and says that you've started getting orders online, not just from Mumbai, but also Pune, Hyderabad, Delhi, etc. I've been doing this journey since the past 5 years. I have customers today coming from Australia, from Africa. Now, what I'm trying to leave you with the thought is that the day you start, from there, the sky is the limit in the digital space. You need to progress step by step. The goalpost keeps changing. You can grow, but grow at a steady pace. So the learning from this is that you need to go online, whether half, whether full, some form or manner, you need to start allowing your customers to buy online from you, right? Now, thank you for the ones who were part of the example today. But let me now move on to quickly showing you a digitization index that we've tried to factor in the various stages that you as a business owner may be at. So whether it's any business function, marketing, sales, operations, accounting, all of that, each of these areas have different ranges of digitizing your business. Let's say you don't have a logo, don't look at perfecting it from day one. Create an ad hoc logo, move on to creating a professional logo. If you don't have an online profile, it's vital that you make it today. Stay active, start contributing, keep it complete so that if a customer comes to your page, they should know that you are in the business currently. And it doesn't look incomplete that, okay, maybe the customer is left to the thought of, should I try contacting them to see if the business exists or not? If you don't have a website, please make one. It can be informational based. Then you can progress to creating an online store. If you don't have social media presence today, create your pages, increase your frequency from, let's say, 1 week a post to once a day. Then you move on to paid promotions and you move on to a social media store. So what I'm trying to show here is that there are innumerable activities that you can do. All of them together will show you the power. So don't get disheartened by doing small activities. Bringing all these drops will move you to an ocean. So let's take an example of another function, let's say operations. Now, I hope that as manufacturers, all the manufacturers today in the audience, I hope that you are still not sending your salesperson to the distributor outlet physically and showing your catalog every single month, every single time, saying, this is the catalog, order what you need. That is not the way to do it today. There are enough number of tools and capabilities to digitize your supply chain, which means that let your salesperson invest time in relationship building, in aspects that actually will drive further sales versus actually booking orders. And what are the tools that exist today? A distributor can actually purchase from your online catalog just like the way a customer can. And there are enough number of capabilities that exist in terms of customizing the minimum order quantity, customizing credit limit, customizing, let's say, a unique price for them, discounts. All of that exists today. In fact, we at GlobalLinker have a product which is called Brand Linker. If anybody in the audience is interested in knowing more about the product, please drop me a message after the session and I'll be happy to schedule an expert to show you a demo of the product. Now, please allow your customers, whether even if it's B2B, to order online from you. I'm going to leave you all with the thought that it's important and critical to stay digitized. No matter where you are at, please build it, lay the bricks today so that you can eventually make a castle. Now, we're going to pause here and, as promised, have a detailed Q&A session. I have put in my contact details on the screen, but I'm going to put it in the chat box as well. And the session is open now to any questions that you'd like to ask. First of all, thank you to the members who were a part of our examples. Thank you for being such an engaged audience today. It was honestly a pleasure to interact with all of you. I hope that this 1 hour of your busy schedule was invested in the right time to learn about the various ways in which you can go online. If there are no questions, I'm going to assume that you've all absorbed the information that was shared today. I'm a manufacturer of steel component as per customer requirement. Mr. Nikhil, I'm not quite sure on the question. Please do elaborate. How do I use this platform? So as a manufacturer, Mr. Nikhil, one is, first of all, that I can help schedule a call for digitization of your supply chain so that you have visibility from manufacturer to distributor to retailer to customer. What is happening, when purchases are happening, how is it happening? All of that, the data can be seen, the insights can be inferred. Now, that's one thing. Second thing is that please create your digital catalog if you haven't done so. And don't worry, since you're an industrial products business, there are enough number of examples that we can show you. I'd request you to please contact me offline. We will help get someone explain to you the way you can use the platform in terms of these services. But I hope you could also understand the live demo that I showed today. Right. So one more thing, I can see one personal question here around how do I make my store? So there are various ways in which you can make your store. One, you can do it on your own. It's called the DIY version that GlobalLinker offers, which is absolutely free. Second, and we have enough number of tutorial material, live training sessions. In fact, I'll ask my colleague to share with you here how you can join the live training sessions. It happens every day, Monday to Friday at 5:30 p.m., where an in-house expert trainer is showcasing to you how do you create a store, how do you upload products, how do you change inventory, how do you do all of it right from the scratch to end till promotions. So you can do that. If you don't have the time or are not willing to invest that kind of expertise into creating your own online store, we can do it for you. We also can create a professional store at a nominal cost for you. If you want that kind of a service, again, please drop me a message that I'm looking at help for creating my online catalog, and we'll be happy to share it with you. Moving to the next question, looking to hire growth or digital marketers, full-time resource at Hyderabad. I would request you to please put up a post on the GlobalLinker platform and the community might be able to help you. I'm a merchant exporter of building material products, tiles, chemical adhesive. How to take this business online? Now, again, this actually brings me to the thought of two aspects. One is that you can make it on your own, like I said. If not, please do reach out to us. We have an assisted service where we can help you create it from scratch. We will do all the heavy lifting in terms of making it ready for you. It's at a pretty nominal cost. So I'll invite you to please send me a message or an email post the session in relation to this. How can we use for service industry as we are new? Even for service industries, there are a lot of services today who have created their stores on GlobalLinker. All you need to do is productize your service. So let's say you are a pest control service provider. Create buckets on the different products. It can be as simple as even just allowing appointments from customers. It can be, let's say, product 1 is for rodents, product 2 is for lizards, product 3 is for something else. Allow people to not think about the various ways in which they can reach out to you. Put it out there. These are the kind of services that we provide. This is the cost. This is how, and that's the way you will scale up as a service provider as well. So I hope I answered your question. Mr. Shiva Kumar, we have an e-commerce website, but how do we find buyers in the global market? And how do we get international payment gateway link? That's an interesting question. So let me again share my screen to answer this one. There is a dedicated focus that we have on exports. So this is the Indian Business Portal. Now, what is the Indian Business Portal? It is a trade hub which basically connects Indian sellers with foreign buyers. So there are already 3,000 plus Indian sellers who are trading and finding business opportunities with foreign buyers. In fact, you can see that there are lots of foreign buyers who are posting their inquiries here in asking suppliers from India to actually provide a quotation. So please do make the most of this opportunity. This portal has been built by GlobalLinker in partnership with FIO, which is a Federation of Indian Export Organizations. There is a clear focus on geographical indicator of products. There is, you need not 100% have to put a price to your product. You can also allow only inquiries. Now, how do you join this portal is, please create your digital catalog using GlobalLinker. Once it is ready, send us an email or a message and we'll be happy to integrate your store to the Indian Business Portal. As of today, the portal is free to join, so please do make the most of it currently. I hope I answered your question in terms of how do you reach global customers. My colleague here will also share a little about the Indian Business Portal. Your next follow-on question was, how do I get an international payment gateway link? The store capability, once you build it via GlobalLinker, we have partnered with enough number of businesses in the payment gateway space to provide that opportunity to you. Not just international, even domestic. We are in partnership with PayPal, Paytm, Razorpay, CC Avenue. And same way for logistics, we have domestic as well as international. There's Aramex, there's Shipmax, there's Shiplite, there's Dunzo, VFast, all of them. We've pre-negotiated with them. They're already a part of your online catalog. Once you get an order, you don't have to worry about how to fulfill it, both in terms of logistics and in terms of payment. I hope I answered your question. Moving quickly to the next one. How do I optimize the online store? If this is in relation to SEO, there are various ways you can do it via the online store backend capability. We have dedicated SEO training sessions as well. Or alternatively, you can definitely appoint an SEO agency if you don't have the expertise to do it on your online catalog. How do I attract international buyers exclusively for our products? Again, like I said, please do join the Indian Business Portal. That's a very good option for you if you're looking at global markets. Thank you for the valuable information. I don't see any more questions. Thank you all for joining in. Thank you for being such an engaged audience. Thank you for asking the relevant questions. And of course, thank you for the volunteers here today who were part of our examples. So I hope to see you again. One last thing before we end, there's a special giveaway and I'm making it up as of now only for all the enthusiasm that you're showing. We would like to help you, and how we would like to help you is that we can schedule a one-on-one expert review for you, which means that an in-house expert will understand where you are in your digital journey. Let's say you've not created your online store, we'll tell you how to go about it. If you don't have a profile, we'll help you in that aspect. So a half-an-hour session will be planned for you. But how do you win this giveaway? All you need to do is go on to any of your social media pages, which means it can be Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, anything, or in fact, even GlobalLinker. Post about how you benefited from today's session. I can see a lot of appreciation here in the chat box today. Please do post on your own social media feed about how you benefited from today's session, and we will shortlist you for this giveaway. The reason to do this is for us to be able to add value to businesses who are interested. It's not a marketing gimmick. It's nothing to do with that. It's just for us to understand your interest level and help you. So please make the most of this opportunity. Once you have posted on your social media pages, please send me a message with the URL so that we can shortlist you. Thank you everybody for joining in.